Will your Pokemon card business survive a bear market? Will my Pokemon card business survive a bear market? We're definitely seeing a lot of people talking about this concept recently. Some of it fear, some of it projection, some of it just chatting about the upcoming, what they think is the upcoming downturn of the Pokemon card business. While I do agree that it is not an if, but definitely a when. We can't say when it's going to happen, but it will definitely happen. I want to talk about what I have done in the past in a bear market. I've been selling online for almost 10 years now. I want to talk about what it looked like, what I've done, what I think that someone who is running a Pokemon card business, especially somebody starting out or a bit newer to it, needs to have as far as qualities and attributes to be able to stay the course and weather that storm. And I just want to share some of my experiences in the past. It's going to be a little bit different for me on the next one too, because I'm at a different scale than I was in the past. But yeah, I want this video to be kind of part instructional, part motivational. I hope that's kind of the goal. Keep the dream alive. Keep on course and keep doing what you're doing. That's basically going to be what I want to talk about, and just keep pursuing that dream, man. First, we kind of want to define what we're talking about, right? In a bear market, in case you're not aware exactly of it, or or we just want to be sure we're on the same page here. It doesn't mean the hobby's dead. Like the hobby is dying. It's dead. It's gone. That's not happening. That will not happen with Pokemon. I would take some sort of colossal, worldly, insane effect to have anything like that happen. It's not going to mean there's no buyers. People are still going to be buying Pokemon. They always have been. They always have been. They will. Um, Definitely does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that the hobby is disappearing. What it does mean, bear market does mean prices are going to trend down for sure. Appreciation on product, that's going to slow on most products. On some, it might even reverse. The value is going to slow down its increase, or it might even go backwards. Hype will definitely be lower. Hype will be lower. It's not going to be the big hot thing all over social media. Margins might be tighter, but not the way you think. I'll talk about margins in a minute, but margins are going to be tighter in the short term because unless you're like moment to moment churning and burning your inventory that you bought out, if you're selling it for lower, your margins are obviously decreasing a little bit, but that should be in the short term, and we'll talk about that in a second. But here's a big one, a big positive for those who are here to stick it out. The competition dies. Competition is gone, most of it, right? You, even for a business who's operating for a long time, now excluding like huge big dogs, obviously, um, they're going to see downturns in the bull market as well because of the amount of competition. They also have to fight it. I mean, of course, they have an established customer base, but that product is going so many different directions and avenues that it is going to affect them. So they will generally be happier regarding competition in a bear market because they have less people to have to compete with, right? So you, as somebody watching this video, I assume, are the type of person that will want to stick it out and wants to do everything they can to make it through, right? So less competition to worry about means more focus for you on other parts of your business to grow your business. Your margins. So we'll talk about margins now. Margin percent is not going to change. Margin percent will not change. Prices will go down for everyone across the board. So if you're buying something at $80 now and selling it for $100, well, now that product might be worth $60 and you might be buying it for 45 or 50. Quick math in my head, percentages should come out to around the same, but you just keep offering 70 75, 80%, whatever your percentage is to make your margin, you're going to keep offering that on the value of the product and sell the product. And in my mind, in a golden age, we are back where we can get the product and sell it the same as any other store, like the big box stores or anything like that. And we're talking about MSRP. Um, that could happen. I've talked about in my videos where I don't think it's feasible to actually get exactly to MSRP, but we can approach it. We can get lower, but it doesn't matter for you because you're buying at the same percentage and you're selling at the same margin. Now, I talked about short term. If you're short term, you're probably going to see slimmer margins. If I bought a box at $80 and it's selling for 100 right now, and there's a downturn and it's now selling for $85 or $80, maybe 75 at a loss. Yeah, in that short term, I'm going to see a few hiccups here and there, unless I'm literally churning through product like day by day by day, like all my product, which for me, I don't know if that's happening for you. If so, that's great. If you're able to keep restocking, for me, that's not the case. There's definitely some product that I've got that I will probably have during a downturn, and I might take a loss on it. It's okay. But the big thing is recognizing that downturn as we approach it, and taking advantage of what you do have in inventory and possibly pushing a sale or selling lower and taking a lower margin hit than you were planning to mitigate taking an even lower one or a loss down the line, like a few months after you start seeing a trend or whatever. And keeping that cash flow and keeping liquid and selling and churning so that you can get into a position with your cash to start buying at those percentages again and getting your margins back faster, right? Now, if you are someone who is not looking for long term and is not trying to build a brand and a business, and you're kind of in it for the quick buck, and you got short term investments, and when I say short term, I'm talking like 1 to 3 years is pretty short. You're picking up product to flip it at the highest increase you possibly can as quickly as you can, or you've drastically over leveraged your position or your inventory, especially if you're going into debt for that. If you are someone in that position, I would definitely be a little worried about a downturn in the market, because that's not like cash, right? That's still money that you need to pay back to somebody, whoever it came from. So if you're in that position, then yes, you might get hurt by this. You might get very much hurt by this downturn. So you might want to think about possibly liquidating if you're scared at that. But that's not advice for me or anything. I'm just saying if I was in that position, that's kind of where I would be. So if you're way over leveraged and you'd have a bunch of stuff sitting that you're relying on being, 3, 4, 5 plus X within like a year to 3 years, then you might be in a scary position depending on how much you have and all that. Churning and burning, right? You probably heard the phrase a bunch, especially like in the Pokemon business community. I know other creators talk about it, and it's absolutely true. This proves it completely, right? Like if you're holding inventory too long in a market that's going to move up and down, especially in like a big down, you obviously aren't going to see those margins. But if I lower the space of time that I'm bringing in and moving out the product, I'm taking advantage of those margins as the trend goes down, and not taking it here and then selling it down and selling it down here. I'm taking it here and I'm selling it here and selling it here and selling it here and selling it here and buying and buying and selling and buying and selling and buying and selling and buying and selling, so on to wherever it gets. And it doesn't matter for you. And another plus side, right now, if you're an online business, you are probably fully aware that even that distributors are not giving you anything, or probably might not even be accepting you. I mean, it took me over a year for me to get in on 2 distributors, and I still like don't get any Pokemon product from them. Really, I can get anything else I want, but Pokemon allocations are basically zero. And brick and mortars are even seeing it as well, and they're the ones getting primary, and ones who run Pokemon events. They get primary position on allocations. And long-standing accounts, there's a few exceptions, of course, but even they're seeing less and less. And this isn't news. Like, we know this, that there's a bit of a stranglehold right now, and obviously much more demand than supply. That's why we're where we're at. But this might open the doors. If it gets low enough, it might open the doors up for some of you businesses that are weathering the storm and sticking with this and grinding and doing the work. That might open the door for you to get in with those distributors and set you up even more for the long term. Buying completely at wholesale, not having to worry about sourcing from collections or this or that. Um, if you're a single seller, it's a little bit different, but the same logic applies to your margins. You're just buying at the margin, you're buying at your percentages and selling them based off of your percentages. Like, it's that simple. And you know, for me, I'm going to do all of those things. I'm going to do all of them. I'm going to keep working, keep pushing through it. I'm still going to be making content. I'm still going to be buying. I'm still going to be selling. Still going to be making videos. All of that. That's not going to change. And if you're someone in the same position and you're putting out YouTube content or whatever content, and you're buying and selling, just keep doing it. Push your product, sell it, bring it in, send it out. Don't mix up being an investor with being a business. If you have the extra funds on your personal side where you can afford to have a personal collection and have an investment, that's great. But if you are just starting out or you're not sure how to navigate this, then it's probably a good time to just buckle down and really focus on the business and growing the business, and then worry about building up, investments later on. Again, not advice or financial advice. Everyone's situation is different. You just kind of need to take a real good look at what your situation is and what you know that you can handle, and go from there. But yeah, things aren't going to change in that regard. It's just we're talking about lower numbers. But as a business, as a business owner, I'm thinking about margins. Like, I don't care if I buy at 80 and sell at 100. If I can buy it at 30 and sell it for 50, or buy it at 30 and sell it for 40, and I can keep doing that every day, then I'm cool. I'm good with that. It doesn't matter to me. And there's more out there for me to buy in a bear market, and it all evens out, in my opinion. It's all going to even out in the end. If you keep being consistent, your business is going to keep showing you consistent results, and consistent results lead to greater consistent results, and so on and so forth. I'm not any huge operation, obviously, by any point, but I have seen success and growth in this, and I can see the scale if I continue to put in this work. And that's a huge motivator for me, and I hope that it can be a huge motivator for you. It will not be easy. It definitely isn't easy. If it was easy, there would be tons and tons of people making millions off of doing this, right? It would be a regular thing if it was easy, and you probably wouldn't have got into it. You're probably into it because it's not easy, right? If you're the one who's going to stick it out, you already know this, right? And it's going to test you. You will be tested. It's going to require discipline. You're going to have to adjust. You have to adapt, especially short term. There's going to be some weirdness in the short term, but you have to adapt. You have to maybe take some hits here and there, and just keep cash flow, keep liquid, and move on, and keep buying and keep selling. That's all you got to do. All you got to do, and just keep working. Just keep working. Whatever you're doing, making content, selling cards, just keep doing it. Keep working. I think I've said that maybe 40 times now. So hopefully that sticks. And not just for you, but for me, right? I need a motivator too to keep myself going. And this is kind of where I just want to vent that out and talk about what I think, and hopefully help somebody out. But yeah, I've rambled on long enough about this. I'm hoping that this helps somebody. At the very least, like I said, motivate you, get you maybe reset in the same mindset, and tell me about it. Let's talk about it down in the comments. Tell me how you're feeling about possible upcoming market changes, or what do you think about the current one. What are you going to do? What's your plan? Did I miss any points? Like, what do you think? Have you gone through this before? So I know that was like 100 questions, but yeah, let's talk about it down in the comments. All right. Hashtag bear. Hashtag bear if you made it this far. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I'm going to peace on out of here. I hope you are having a wonderful day wherever you may be. And I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Hey, look, I wore my bear shirt, bear market, bear shirt. Get it? It says "Let's hug it out." So if you need to hug it out, let me know virtually, of course, and platonically, of course. Anyway,